This episode of Total Drama Reviews contains clips from Total Drama World Tour. I do not own Total Drama World Tour. All rights go to FreshTV. Remember to be civil and do not be me in the comments. Seriously, it can get really messed up. Carpe diem, my name is Ultranatic, and this is Total Drama Reviews. This is where I, as a lover of animation, reality shows, and music, look over the show that combine them together the best. And we're traveling back to Canada, Badlands edition, in today's episode, Drumheller. A very does what it says on the tin title, because I think they just want to reference the location, but God help me if I know what's supposed to reference otherwise. Okay, so the title's a letdown, but you know what isn't? The rest of the episode. And that is no April Fool's joke. I do have a lot to praise about this one. I mean, not that it's pristine, I can definitely point to problems with it in places, but I am nonetheless impressed with the quality they gave us here. You'd think an episode set in such a dingy looking location, come on animators, Alberta doesn't look this desolate, that its story would be as barren as the setting, but I think they might have understood that as a weakness, so they actually packed something engaging and smart for a story to make up for it. I mean, maybe I shouldn't give it too much credit. It does harken back to some bad aspects of Total Drama from the past, but much like how No Way Home took one of Spider-Man's worst comic plots and retooled it into this, they might have created some magic here. But that could be just my nostalgia talking. What do y'all think? Does this episode capture something remarkable like the effects in Jurassic Park? Or should it remain buried with the rest of the fossils? Well, let's find out. Grab your pickaxes and get ready to dig. This is Drumheller. Christ, when did 5 pounds become so heavy? We open with a recap that is genuinely grasping at straws, trying to find highlights from the previous episodes, so honestly I could skip it like I do all the others, if not for this one bit.
Find out right now on Total Drama World Tour!
Watch that be how the Great Muppet Caper actually started.
Why don't we just pull that rope?
Yes, sir! World Tour!
Also, I was going to count that for the casualty counter, but I can't even see who's in that hot air balloon, much less if they return, so that one I'm leaving off. Yeah, it is awful early at this point in the review for this, but I say it's time for the fun return of my CLR, aka Criticism Lightning Round. 1. As someone who knows a thing or two about Photoshop, that is not how f***ing easy it is to doctor a photo like that. That's like saying the Snyder Cut took all of 1 week to film, edit, and distribute. Just no. 2, before he goes to do this, he checks on Chris in his tanning bed. I'm sorry, I know this show is cheap, but if his quarters are off limits, how does he have no one guarding them then? In fact, that adds to my CLR because it just dawned on me, Chef could be guarding them. He can't literally be flying this plane all the time. They're traveling from one hemisphere to the other. So 3, weird I'm asking this so far into the season, but is there in fact a co-pilot on this plane? The autopilot does not count. Even 2012 established that planes of this size need at least 2 people flying them.
I found the Cyprian and Antonov. They were just about to take off, but the tower didn't let them.
You can still fly that thing, huh?
Sure, boss. But I need co-pilot.
Yeah.
I guess one of the interns could have a license, but yeah. 4, where the heck do Chef or any of the interns sleep? We barely ever see them outside of the challenges.
You people are talking only about the little details. You're forgetting the important stuff.
But okay, back to the context in this episode specifically. 5, for such a masterful editor of portraits, I love how he didn't bother to scale up Heather in the photo, so now she appears smaller than Cody. Yeah, we could compare them in group shots. She could take off her heels and be taller than him. No reasonable person would buy this crap. We we'll get to that. And 6, why did Alejandro wipe the outside of Chris's tanning bed to look inside? Shouldn't any fogging of it have come from the inside, if anything? I'm sorry, I'm not Bill Nye or anything, but it only just occurred to me how scientifically impossible this sequence of events is, which normally I'd excuse since that barely bothered me before, and it barely bothers me now. Yeah, this shit's fine. Not good, but I laugh at the plot holes here. There's no reason to get riled up over them. I mean, we're not reviewing Search and Do Not Destroy or anything. Well, anyway, the following morning, Heather has a nasty wake-up.
Ugh, that was not a first-class sleep. Ow!
Well, no shit, you didn't recline your chair. Anyone would have a struggle gaining 40 winks with that posture, just as the Big Brother 15 cast.
Welcome to Big Brother 15 Have Not Room. If you're looking for an exit, there are none. Sucks for you.
And as one couple does their predictable squabbling, we see someone else have a far more pleasant sleeping experience.
Of course I'll marry you, Gwen. Sierra? Oh, she had quite a bad roller skating accident.
An accident that I most certainly didn't cause. No, really.
Don't worry your pretty head about...
You were having a terrible nightmare. Come, let me hug it away for you.
Cody's amazed how well Sierra has taken her unanimous vote off last episode, to the point where she offers him a special something later on.
I hope you like surprises.
From you?
Oh, you'll like this one.
Hold the phone. This implies you knew he wouldn't like some of the past surprises you've dished out, which I guess only makes sense given what those surprises entail, but also indicates you didn't care how scarred he'd be by them. Has this whole season been just a method actor's exercise in trolling? Like Patrick Starr in The Card?
SpongeBob, you can't always expect my usual brand of stupidity. I like to mix it up. Keep you on your toes.
That's horrible. You deserve the worst feeling in the world as punishment for all you've put him through this season.
I'm a one Codykins girl.
I feel I must show you something. This.
No, it can't be true.
Okay, this is what I'm talking about. Wait, why am I getting deja vu here?
I'm just so surprised to hear you supporting her, you know?
Oh, Christ, no.
Gwen confided in the girls last week that she really can't stand you and thinks you're a total cliche, and she's only stringing you along to get further in the game.
No. No, 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 no!
But I think you're really talented.
I'm going to kick Heather's husband stealing butt.
Patience. You must not let emotions rule your game.
I know what you're doing, Alejandro, but given that is good sound advice, I'm gonna follow through on it and hold this off for later in the review. But trust me, we will come back to this. Instead, I'll remark on how whatever Sierra has in that bag...
I have a secret surprise to engineer.
...never gets explained, which I am more than happy with. I was going to count that gopher for the counter too, but again, that creature may have actually died, so I'm deeming that one ineligible too, as much as I don't want to.
Welcome to Drumheller, Alberta. It has the wickedest collection of dinosaur bones on the planet. Grab whatever bones you can find to make your very own life-size dino. I'm calling it Design-a-Saurit. Oh.
Hey, it's a more creative title than some of the songs/episodes we're ever given, including this one.
What is your problem?
You have 2 minutes to rifle through the plane's cargo hold and grab whatever you can to help build your creation. Go!
Hey!
Okay, I best address something here. We've had contestants in past seasons have the intent of killing competitors for any number of reasons, and spoilers, we'll have them in the future too. And much like my thoughts on SZA's Kill Bill, I'm gonna have issues with that only on a case-by-case basis. And yeah, Sierra shoving Heather I'm against and feel that should get her kicked off a show. Hey, trying to keep a consistent stance there, but it's weirdly the attempted murders I try justifying. I got my priorities in order. I mean, obviously killing is wrong as if that needs reiteration, but keep in mind that this is in fact a cartoon, but even ignoring that, death is just flat impossible in this series. So I will judge these instances strictly for how they're incorporated in the narrative and whether it feels like something the character would do. Dave will be saved for a later time, but given the creepometer we have for Sierra, yeah, no shit she act this way. I'm not saying you have to like it, but I'm not going to knock the writers for it. What I will knock the writers for is why the hell Heather is confused by her actions.
How could you?
What did you do to her?
Nothing. Hello? She's crazy.
Yeah, all episode, she has no idea why Sierra wants to choke the living daylights out of her. Now, we know she has no knowledge of Alejandro's plan and actions, but couldn't she assume that it was because she and Sierra bonded all of last episode and yet she voted her off anyway? Hello?
The fourth and final vote says this week's loser is Sierra.
Sure, Sierra and I are both girls, but all we have in common is that we both wear bras and mascara.
I mean, Jesus, she saw how Sierra treated Cody for doing the same in the pre-merge, and as far as I'm aware, Sierra never told anyone outside the confessional that that was a ruse, so why would she not at least suspect that's the reason? Is Heather so sociopathic that she genuinely doesn't think her villainous actions would rile anyone up? What am I asking for? Of course she is. Mrs. Read Somebody's Diary on international TV. She's practically asking you to get pummeled half the time.
I thought you could use a little visual reminder of what you're playing for.
Hey!
Better? I made many copies.
I expect this from that lying, two-faced husband stealer. But Codykins?
I could never see this coming from a hair-sniffing, photo-nabbing, bra-barring, constantly voting me off angel like Codykins. Yeah, again, for a super fan of total drama, I don't think she knows these people as well as she thinks she does.
It is time to get rid of Alejandro.
Why did you invite him up to first class?
It's called strategy.
You took Alejandro up to first class because you're totally in love with him.
I am not. Why does everybody keep saying that?
Because it's true!
Once the dinos are constructed, they're displayed before Chris, with Alejandro making a non-imaginary dinosaur.
This impressive fellow is the Allosaurus. And yes, that's his real name.
Heather making a kiss-up effort for Chris, clearly learning something from her TDA elimination episode.
I would like to introduce the glorious Chris Ceratops, one talented beast and a real hit with the ladies.
Cody making a dinosaur made of...
It's really light.
I came across a whole whack of these and I thought they were really cool. They're coprolite fossils. Copros meaning dung, and light meaning stone. You mean it's fossilized
poop?
Ew!
How are Team Amazon members such a magnet for literal excrement this season, never mind metaphorical? And Sierra making one in honor of Cody, given, well...
Why is it wearing a party hat?
Because it's your birthday!
It's my birthday? It's my birthday! I totally forgot!
Okay, my earlier CLR was less of an actual complaint and more just fun nitpicks. Here's one with actual complaints. And still a few nitpicks, but either way, play the music. First, and this applies to every fossil, not just Sierra's, but how are any of y'all actually putting these dinos together as well as you are? I mean, Alejandro outbuys since he apparently knows what an Allosaurus and coprolite fossils are, but what are the odds all of the Final Four have expertise in assembling a dinosaur skeleton? Did they pick up this skill from a dinosaur exhibit in the Louvre episode? I'm not even sure the Louvre has a dinosaur exhibit, but more pressing matters too. While it's pretty cool to have an episode with an actual date we can track it to.
It's my birthday? It's my birthday! I totally forgot!
I also happen to know that your birthday is April 1st. You're my very own April Fool.
And twice as cool, both the air date ahead in Canada and the release of this review were relatively close to matching it. Well, to toot my own horn, on the dot in my case. Feliz cumpleaños, Cody. Can I just stress how stupid this cliche is? Oh my gosh, it's my birthday? I totally forgot. how? I mean, if you're in the age range for a standard midlife crisis, I can see someone not keeping track of that shit anymore, but Cody, I think, isn't even 20. Wouldn't he be at least counting the days till he reaches drinking age? Oh, the drinking age is below 20 in Canada. Good for him. After all Sierra put him through, he'll need the world's longest beer tab to get past it. But even ignoring that milestone, his birthday is a holiday. That should make it extra hard to forget something like that. Whether that be Cody or, as he later reveals, his parents.
Last year, my own mom and dad forgot my birthday.
Which is also horrible. I mean, I know I rag on Cody's biggest flaws, but for his parents to forget their son, the pop/reality star's birthday, which happens to fall on a holiday ever in their life, is just extra disgraceful. I dare say Heather got better treatment from her parents. And speaking of Heather and bad treatment, Chris reveals a rather clever twist in the challenge.
It's Judgment Day! And did I mention who the very special judges are? You!
A lie detector. Sure. Great idea, Chris.
My leg! There's my casualty counter up and running again. Only 3 more to go.
I loved Cody's Pooposaurus.
Okay, between this, her Aftermath episode, her going off alone when serial killers are on the loose, and as I just stated, everything she does to gain enemies on this show, I am now totally convinced that Heather is a masochist. Nothing else will explain why she tries lying on an electric chair multiple times.
This is too easy.
Also, why even bother lying to gain Cody's favor there? I know, strategy, but given she backstabbed Sierra and is now in fear for her life because of it, as far as she should know, I tried currying favor with her. And yeah, I just explained how she's a masochist, so maybe she's not in fear for her life after all, but at the same time, $1 million are on the line. Make the smarter strategic choice here. Especially when the truth is Sierra's dino was her favorite anyway.
Sierra's moving tribute to love and loss was the best. And I really like glitter glue. I have a whole secret collection of the kind that comes in pens. Don't judge me.
Oh, we are.
Yes, I too am judging you on this, Heather. In that, I like seeing this side of you. I don't know, it's just kind of adorable seeing you show any kind of vulnerability.
I too vote for the Dunkaroos.
My leg! 2 more. Just 2 more and we are there, everybody.
I too vote for the Dunkaroos. Fine.
Okay, Alejandro, tell me why you felt the need to try lying to Cody almost exactly the same way Heather tried doing so just now.
I loved Cody's Pooposaurus.
Again, Heather, are y'all absolutely sure you're not meant for each other? I think Ken and Barbie were less compatible than you two are.
I appreciated Sierra's genuine emotion.
Good enough.
I gotta vote for Sierra's Glitterosaurus.
But yeah, Sierra gains the votes of everyone, with her vote going to Heather despite wanting to vote for Cody's.
While I'd love to vote for Cody's doo-doo raptor, I must vote for vile Heather's major kiss-up attempt.
I do love how every Final Four member who wasn't Cody tried voting for Cody despite that not being their favorite, but that Sierra's the one who didn't get shot cause, well, she quote-unquote loves him, so she is telling the truth in her voting preference while begrudgingly picking the person first on her hit list. And speaking of,
as the winner, Sierra gets this handy-dandy post digger.
I can't threaten them with this.
Here. Now it's much more threatening. Off you go now.
this leads to part 2, where the contestants must dig up the remaining fuel barrels for the plane as mistakenly buried by the interns.
The interns were supposed to bury these barrels full of maple syrup, sugar, spiders, and rattlesnake.
Ah! My leg! One more. Just one more now, everybody. I am watering at the mouth on this. Also, that one only counts as one since it does appear the black intern ran away quick enough to avoid the snakes.
Since Heather came in second, she gets this rusty old prospector kit, and Cody takes third place.
A kitty pail and shovel?
You're welcome. And for coming in dead last...
How am I last when I created the only realistic dinosaur? That has to get me something.
Yeah, you'd think so.
I mean, I can't follow Chris's logic for once. Heather was second place with Sierra's vote, and Cody was third by pure thought of vote from Sierra, whereas no one even mentioned Alejandro's name. Which again is very funny. All his dino expertise meant nothing in regards to immunity, an immunity he later discovered he crucially needed, but one scene at a time.
First one back with a barrel of my oil wins immunity.
There must be 20 square miles of Badlands. It's like looking for a needle in 20 square miles of Badlands.
Yeah, happy birthday, Cody. You got a laugh out of me.
I forgot to mention, we'll be pummeling you with the occasional boulder. This is the life.
Oh my god, it happened. It finally happened. That's right, after 7 years of Total Drama reviews, we have finally reached our 500th casualty count! It's moments like this that I live for, and this counter's job is far from over, so add one more on there for the same thing happening to Chris later in the episode. This show is like Euphoria sometimes. Yes, sexually hold off on the show. I haven't seen that one aside from one single clip. The one clip was pretty funny though. After another scene of Ella and Heather not being in love.
Hitting on ladies and coasting on their work is hard.
Don't you have things to do?
You're not usually a last place kind of...
Leave me alone!
Wow, somebody got up on the wrong side of first class.
I've seen polished screen doors that were harder to see through than you two. Cody gets a glimpse of the photos Sierra got from Alejandro and... Okay, I compared this at the beginning to the same plan Heather enacted in Search and Do Not Destroy, now poetically being used against her here. But given the fumes I was expelling earlier, you'd think I'm ready to get pissed about that, and actually, this episode is that plotline being done as correctly as possible.
I realize that you must care a lot about me and
Focus.
Sierra, what's that?
It is genuinely shocking how well they execute this cliche given the circumstances. Cause as a trope, I bet most of us hate this. Unnecessary tension between characters who otherwise get along through fabricated evidence.
I heard you, Mulan. Every word.
Every word of what?
Don't play coy. I saw you outside my tent.
What? I haven't left my post.
It's a forced plot device that makes every bond they have feel questionable and also makes any character who falls for it look extraordinarily stupid. This was especially true of Gwent in season 1.
Gwen is just playing you for your vote, and you're just so nice that I can't watch you fall for it anymore.
Trent was stupid to fall for Heather's claims about Gwen, and he and Gwen not even asking each other about the legitimacy of these optics just means whatever feelings they have for each other were shallow, even by teenage standards. These problems are fixed here by the person being fooled, being Sierra.
I'm sure you two will smooth things over. After you get rid of Heather, of course.
Heather is about to become extinct.
Yeah, while past transgressions can't be excused, the way she's been written up to now makes all of this believable. Because one, yes, I do believe she'd fall for a ploy like this. That makes sense.
Sierra, look, it's Cody.
Poor honey. Quick, get out of those things.
Two, she and Cody do not have a strong relationship, especially not communication. Again, as pointed out in the Louvre episode where she wasn't even on speaking terms with him.
Look, isn't this romantic?
It's no fun because you're only doing it because you have to.
And three, because the plot cleverly didn't divulge this evidence to anyone else up to this point, no one had any reason to question the authenticity of this photo until now, given they didn't know it existed. And the instant Cody sees it, he does communicate with Sierra to figure out the culprit and strategize to avert his plans. That is brilliant.
This is just me and Heather alone in loser class. That proves it's a fake. There is no time that Heather and I could have been alone without you.
I guess you're right.
Where did you get this?
Alejandro staged this.
He set me up.
He is going down.
This is genuinely one of the best things to have happened all season. Oh, and I also appreciate this moment.
When do you ever leave me by myself?
I let you go to the bathroom all the time.
I will give credit. From what I recall that is true, she does leave him alone in the bathroom. I mean, she's seen him naked. What does she have to peek at anyway?
What did you hit?
They then conveniently find Doyle. Not that there is any competition anymore, as Heather gets trapped under a boulder, which will not be factored in the counter. It does appear there was space in her ditch to avoid contact with it, and Alejandro hears her cries for help and leaves her to die. Oh wait, sorry, he's not in love with her, so he goes to where she is just to gloat. Again, ghosts are less transparent than Heather's chemistry.
That barrel is mine.
Guess what?
Oh right, song number time. This one being titled, This Is How We Will End It. Yeah, not a fan of this one, sorry.
I left Bridget stuck to a pole, robbed Lashana of a fabulous soul.
I mean, the setup has promise with strong use of puppetry akin to NSYNC's No Strings Attached album, and even conceptually with Alejandro recapping all the women in the game he duped and how it all built up to this moment. But concept is one thing, execution is another, and this again feels like a first draft, which I'd accept if it felt catchier.
This is how we will end it. This game we have played.
And ironically, it too has promised to be catchy with a guitar riff taking inspiration from Weezer's Say It Ain't So.
This is how we will end it. Your bill must be paid. Say it ain't so.
But melodically, it's stretching for a hook without ever really reaching one. Also, I've come to notice that Heather has a weird habit of not doing all that much singing in her songs, merely vocalizing.
Ow! Ooh, ooh, yeah.
Oh, and speaking of stuck to a pole, what is up with this line?
If I'm going down, make a fair fight. It's beneath you to abandon a girl in a ditch.
No, it's not. He left Bridget sticking to a pole in the Yukon.
I left Bridget stuck to a pole, robbed Lashana of her fabulous soul.
And before anyone says, oh, well, he never revealed that to her when he did that, he's revealing it to her now, in song form. So when she uses this guilt trip to convince him to dig her out, why on earth does he fall for that?
Please, Alejandro, you and I have been the greatest adversaries this game has ever seen. Is this how you want to win it? Is that the victory you want?
I mean, yes, we know he cares about her. That's a given. But then what was the point of this charade? Are they that scrapped for a song idea here? How about Alejandro sings about potentially making a deal with Heather? Something he basically does anyway once he does pull her out. I don't see this as particularly useful.
Offer me my dignity. I haven't got a stitch.
As a song, it's not the worst. It has ideas that almost equal out to a good final product, but I'm not gonna look back on this all that fondly. That's all I'm saying.
You will never, never, never vote for me.
Of course not. There's only like 2 votes left anyway.
Promise?
I promise.
And the Tricks Rabbit just signed a contract swearing off trying to steal any kind of colorful round cereal. I'm sure that'll last. So they each grab a barrel and roll it back. Yeah, a trail of something flammable has never led to any mayhem in past media before, as Heather gets informed by Sierra about Alejandro's plotting, which naturally will cause Heather to renege on her agreement with him. Not that she needs a reason, she's Heather, but yeah, that clinched the deal.
Sierra has invincibility, so Sierra, you get tonight's first marshmallow.
We get a callback to the original TDI for pure nostalgia's sake, I guess. Not like I'd refuse it, as it comes down to Alejandro and Cody, but
the last vote goes to...
Wait, I think we should do one last thing before anybody gets the boot. Happy birthday, Cody! I made it myself.
Sierra! Look out! Sierra! My beautiful plane!
It was chocolate. Your favorite.
Ah, she's fine. Although I guess with the whole blowing up my plane business, she's out of the game!
okay, let's get this out of the way first and foremost.
My leg!
I am only counting Sierra there because, We've no confirmation that anyone or thing else got affected by that explosion, even though realistically everyone was close enough to it to where they should look like Two-Face from the Dark Knight if the right side of their face was just their whole body now. But yeah, Sierra destroys the plane in an explosion, her immunity is revoked, the elimination is nullified, and Sierra is instead eliminated.
So the final three? It's Cody, Heather, and me?
Cody, you must win it for both of us!
As far as things that are bad about this elimination, let me address the one thing that bothers me here.
One thing.
Yes, only one. In that, the entire lead into this happening, completely f***ing forced. I'm not even talking about the oil being left behind, that I'm fine with. I'm talking about Sierra interrupting the ceremony right as Alejandro was about to be declared 4th place.
We've all been through a lot together, so I think we should do one last thing before anybody gets the boot.
I know Sierra's a terrible strategist, but why couldn't she have waited literally 30 seconds more? I mean, ironically, this outcome could have happened anyway, leading to the same verdict and a forced final 2 of Heather and Cody now, but potentially she had been warned soon enough that fireworks near oil, bad combo. But instead, they built it up just so it create tension for Alejandro when he discovered the 3 votes against him, which could have been done after all of that anyway. But that's clearly not the point. This was designed to be how Sierra got eliminated, I get that. So if you had to do this, how about you just have her bring the cake out before Chris gives away the 2nd marshmallow?
Tonight's 2nd marshmallow goes to Heather, who also had no votes against her.
I mean, she got the first one. What if after she received it, she went, you know what'd go great with this? A chocolate cake. Cause yeah, chocolate and marshmallows ain't too shabby a pairing. It's 2/3 of what a s'more is, for goodness sake. But nope, they built it up to this point as if we couldn't tell what the outcome was going to be anyway. That's dumb, lazy, and a tad bit insulting to the audience if I do say so myself. Now, with that out of the way, this elimination is utterly fantastic.
I guess with the whole blowing up my plane business, she's out of the game!
Yeah, the timing's shoddy, but otherwise, I'm not sure I could have crafted the rest of this better if I tried. Sierra's downfall being her biggest kryptonite, how much she cares for Cody, which again is too much.
If I take it and get immunity, you could end up in a tiebreaker.
One of us should have immunity. You deserve it.
Ironically, this episode, she was otherwise fine with him, maybe because all of her attention was focused on Heather, of course, but this obvious issue with her existence made her the biggest stain on this season overall.
A good reporter never reveals her sources.
Well, okay, 2nd biggest, Mildred still takes the cake, no pun intended, making this boot of hers one of the most satisfying in all of Total Drama. In fact, I know I usually play this music when the biggest villain of the season goes home, but nah, it's gonna be played here this time. But as for Chris revoking her immunity, isn't that not allowed? No, I'm fine with that here. I mean, Sierra did destroy something he loves and put everyone in proximity in danger. I think this is fair. And hell, I've seen this before in Hell's Kitchen Season 2 with Virginia. She won immunity at the Final 4 Reward Challenge despite clearly being the worst cook left, and it got taken away from her as she royally screwed that service.
You can go in pre-salmon? Yeah, whenever you're ready. I'm ready. I can't. Yes. I can't, you guys.
Heather,
Yes,
right
chef.
now she's screwing you. Hey,
Give me a couple minutes on the cabbage. I just burnt the cabbage.
I've just burnt the cabbage.
Yes, chef.
She's burnt the
I
cabbage.
just burnt the cabbage.
Take your meats back. Hey, Virginia.
Yes, chef.
Look at me. I mean it. You're no longer safe.
And she would have been sent home for it if not for contrivances that ain't worth getting into. The point is, this isn't an anomaly. The difference is, Gordon Ramsay couldn't go through with sending her home, but Chris could. And I have no objections to this past that. So, yeah, I would award this exit an A+, if not for the timing, so we'll round it down to an A-. Still overall pretty positive.
Cody, you must win it for both of us.
Also, low-key, as happy as I am to see her go, tiny bit bittersweet, as for a second I was starting to like her again, and she even roots Cody on, mainly cause, again, quote-unquote love, but also cause of the remaining 3 people, who is the least evil? Actually, out of the remaining people from the final 7 onward, who was the least evil? Yeah, this merge was pretty short on heroes, wasn't it?
Woo! Yeah! Be right back.
But yeah, Heather attempts to cover her tracks by burning the votes, which miraculously did not get burned in that explosion. But as I said, Alejandro figures it out and, well...
Fine! The gloves are off, pal!
Which of course he gets mad at as if he didn't instigate all of this.
You will regret this, Heather. Oh, yes. You will regret this.
I'm actually not criticizing him for that. This hypocrisy is clearly what they were aiming for, but yeah, I'll at least call him out on it. Duh.
Well, this was not my best day ever.
And now for probably the show's funniest ending due to the misery expressed by Chris. Again, the only thing more satisfying than seeing Sierra out of the running is seeing Chris sad about something.
Join us next time. There will be a next time. I'm just not sure what kind of show it will be or where.
Like, this isn't just, oh, Chef's leaving the show, that sucks, we grew a bond. No, this is if in the pre-llama part of The Emperor's New Groove, Cuscotopia got demolished by Yzma and then she killed him. The schadenfreude is palpable and delectable.
It will still be called Total Drama.
And that was Drumheller. Yeah, really freaking good all around. Not perfect, I didn't care for the song, and there's a couple blotches on the script that could have been washed out, but in general, really well put together. The framing of having Alejandro set up conflict, the conflict ensuing in a manner that was relatively not nasty. I said relatively, but then having the conflict ironed out, avoiding the pitfalls of some horrible cliches, the underdogs being punked by the main villain, banding together to take him out, only for a turn that keeps the drama at its peak for the next few episodes, is awesome. I mean, ordinarily I take issue that Sierra's exit wasn't built up properly. I've had issues like that with some Disventure Camp exits, but not only was she such a thorn in my side all season to where I could look past that, but it had such a go big or go home scale to it that I can't act like they slapdashed it out of nowhere. It was a strong veer from the direction we all expected it to go without feeling cheated in the process. So, yeah, I think I love this one. I guess fitting for an episode about searching for oil, this episode very much struck it, leading to some liquid gold. Which makes it irritating, only slightly though, that we had to wait 2 episodes to see any sort of conclusion for some of this, because next time, and for the last time in Total Drama history, we have an Aftermath episode. Yep, join me next time as we close off that period of Total Drama, Hawaiian style. Yeah, I think the visual fits here. This pizza is very divisive.